Welcome everybody, and this is the first episode of my C programming tutorial series. So we're going to be walking through how to write our first program in this episode. And we're going to be using a program called CodeBlocks. So let's jump into this. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment if you liked the video. And like I said before, we're going to be using CodeBlocks to write our programs in C and to learn the C programming language. So I'll put the website right here, and I'll also put a link to it in the description below. So let's hop onto the computer and start this tutorial.
Here we are on the computer and we're on the Google web page. So we click the search bar and we are going to put in CodeBlocks in the search, and see here we're going to click on the first one that appears, www.codeblocks.org. So we click this one and we come over to this website, and then we navigate over to the left and we click on downloads. So here we come with three options: download the binary release, source code, or retrieve source code from SVN. But we're going to go with the first one because this is the one we're going to use for this tutorial series. So download the binary release. After that, you choose whichever system you have, so Windows, Linux 32-bit, Linux 64-bit, or Mac. So I have Windows 10, so we're going to click this one. And if you have a Windows as well, you're going to choose this one right here, CodeBlocks 16.01 mingw setup.exe. So we're going to do that, and we're going to take either link here and we're going to click on it and go to that site, and it's going to download CodeBlocks. It's going to take a bit, maybe a few minutes to download it, so I'll catch y'all when it's finished out. Okay, so this is what it should look like after you open it up, and I've closed my browser because you don't really need it after that. So we just are going to follow the instructions of the setup. We're gonna agree to this, and we are gonna not change really anything here. We're just gonna have the default install, and we're gonna click next. And right here you can choose where you want it to go, and you can browse wherever you want it. So I'm just gonna keep it right there. So I'm gonna click install, and I've downloaded it before, so I'm just gonna hit yes. Yours probably isn't gonna have this, so just hit yeah, and it's just gonna install all the stuff it needs to, and you're already one step closer to getting ready to write your first C program. So we're just gonna let that load up, and I'll meet you back when it's finished. Okay, so after it finished installing, you're just gonna click next, and that's pretty much it. You just click finish, and as you can see, it's up here or wherever. It might not be on your desktop, it might be in your directory, but it's installed. So we'll double click on that, and it should open up 16.01 right here. And this is the application we're going to be using to start programming our C language. So we are going to click this and click OK. At least that's what it says for me. I don't know if that's what it says for you. So you'll be greeted by this start page on CodeBlocks. So first of all, we're going to create a new project, and it's going to be a console application, and we're going to click go. So this is always going to come up when you first hit this, so make sure you don't press C++, because this is an advanced, C++ is an advanced version of C. But for this tutorial series, we're going to be doing the C language, so make sure you click C, and you're going to click next, And you can name it your project whatever you want. First program. And you save it wherever you want. This is how it's gonna look when it's saved, and that's, you just click next. You don't really have to worry about anything here, and you just click finish, and it should open up first program over here, and you click the plus sign right here, and you double click on this. So this is already ahead of me, so let's just backspace on this. So this is your workspace right here. This is where you're going to be typing your program and debugging your program also. Debugging is just a fancy way of saying if there's anything wrong with your program, you're going to go back and fix it so it can actually run. So what you write here in this workspace, whatever you write, is called source code. This is the C program that you write. But this application, CodeBlocks, has a compiler, and the compiler takes code that you write as the programmer and turns it into a language that the machine can understand. So it turns it into bytes of 0 and 1, because that's basically all a computer can understand. Switches of on and off. So that's what the compiler turns your code into. So you have different programming steps. The first programming step is going to be that you have to decide or make up your mind what you want your program to actually do, whether you want it to say a line of text or solve multiple equations. That's what's up to you to decide. Then you use an application like this one, CodeBlocks, to write and save your program and eventually compile and execute it. So then you compile your program as the third step of the programming steps, and then you check for bugs, and if there are any, you fix them. If there aren't, then you just execute the code. So now that we've got the explanation, well, before we move on, this is the compile button, and this is the executing button, which is build and run. So you click this first to compile it, and then click this to execute it. Or you can just click this one to save yourself a bunch of clicks. So we're going to move on to our first program. So first of all, we're going to have a hashtag and include, and then have standardIO.h, and just end that line and press enter twice, and we're going to have main, and we're going to open our curly brace symbols, and this is where your main code is going to go into, hence the name main. So we're going to use this printf, and printf makes you able to print text from on your computer. So this code is going to say something. So we're just going to write hello world. It's the world. And then we're going to have \n. And \n, this is not going to be printed, but this means that after it prints hello world, it's going to skip, and it's going to go a line down, so it's not all on the same line. So it's the same thing as pressing enter on your computer. So then make sure, don't forget to include semicolons at the end of your code, at the end of the line of code. Otherwise it's going to be an error and you're going to have to go back and fix it. And a whole code can be written, and if you just miss one single semicolon, the computer will not accept it. So make sure you remember those semicolons. So then we're going to put another printf, and it's going to be, you can make it say whatever you want, but I'm just making it say some stuff. So that, and then press \n, and then you just have to have another semicolon, don't forget them. And finally, at the last line of the code, we're just going to have return 0. And that's basically all there is to your first program. We're not doing anything too difficult here. This might look a little foreign to y'all, but it does nothing more than print a few lines of text. So let's compile this, and as you see here, if it has any errors, it will have right here, you see 0 errors, and that means it's good to go. And so we execute it, and up here you see here it's a little small, but it says hello world, I'm programming now, and then you have a little space here, and that's all there is to it. It's not too big of a program, but it's a start and it's a foundation. So these all have their own meanings. Actually, the only 2 lines of code that actually make an output are these 2 lines of code. The rest just take care of things that you have to have in the code, such as this opens up a library, which is a term for different keywords or functions that you can use, such as printf, and this just opens up this code, and return 0 just makes the code end. And that's pretty much all there is to it, to program. So you just wrote your first C program. It's not that big, but it's gonna be a start to way bigger codes.
And that concludes our first C programming tutorial. I hope you really liked it and enjoyed it, and I hope it helped you a lot. So, if you liked the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to show your support toward the channel, and I hope to see y'all in the next video. Be sure to check it out. I'll see you later, guys.